Hi, everyone. Thank you for saying hi back. Welcome. Welcome to Montclair State University. On behalf of the Department of Nutrition and Food Studies, we welcome you. And on behalf of the entire university, we welcome you. We're so excited to have all of you. Excited to have Bobbi Brown and Lindsay and Sarah and Jillian Pransky here with us today, and all of our amazing partners who are in the back with their businesses that represent some aspect of what we believe is the future of health and wellness. We have vertical aeroponic gardening systems, and we have traditional farming here to show you about the future of food. We have food product companies. We have CBD companies. We have physical therapists. We have wellness businesses, you name it. Just, we can't wait to have you explore. But I couldn't be more happy to provide this type of opportunity for our students, our nutrition students, and our food science and food system students. We should all be really proud. So thank you guys all for coming. And I'm going to turn the mic over to Lindsay and Sarah, who is here from ShopRite and Sarah Supermarkets. And Lindsay will say a few words for us. We're honored to have her.
Oh my goodness, there are so many of you. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon and welcome to the Montclair State University Health and Wellness Expo. First, I just want to say I'm so excited to see all of the vendors here. They're all vendors that we've worked with at ShopRite as we built our health and wellness program. And now they're all in one room, and new vendors, too, that I hope to meet as well. Please join me in extending a warm welcome and thank you to our special guests, Bobbi Brown and Jillian Pransky, and also to welcome President Cole. I want to say that I'm honored to be here to represent the Montclair State University College of Education and Human Services Advisory Board and in Sarah Supermarkets. And I'm especially privileged to stand with a group of women whose understanding is that the only approach to health and wellness is a holistic approach. While each of us are trying to help the world make better and healthier choices, we all come from a different place. With Ms. Brown and her idea of beauty coming from the inside out, and Ms. Pransky approaching the concept by using yoga as a path to wellness, as therapeutic yoga actually is what we were talking about before, as a path to wellness, and our approach in Sarah's Supermarkets, ShopRite, of meeting people where they're at the grocery store. All of our approaches are changing the way the world looks at health and wellness, and that is something to be proud of. And thank you to Allison Jarvis for bringing us all together and for this amazing opportunity. The College of Education and Human Services at Montclair State University offers a variety of outstanding undergraduate and graduate programs in 8 academic departments, including nutrition and food studies, 2 areas that I know that myself personally and my family are extremely passionate about. Nutrition, because my job for the last 5 years has been to run our health and wellness programs, which include our retail registered dietitian team and procurement of organic and all-natural products, as well as our food service departments, which honestly came out of, I was getting married and I knew that I was probably gonna have to learn how to cook, and I panicked, so I said, okay, we're gonna need food service in all the stores. It actually worked out kind of well because that was a trend that we were able to kind of join together with our nutrition services to find healthy, clean options for food service and grocery stores, which is something new. We have chefs that prepare the foods, and they work with our dietitian team to make sure those foods have a clean label and are something that are healthy that we could offer. Most of them, some are not, like the mac and cheese, but that's okay, it's still delicious. It's all moderation, right? So we now, across our 23 stores, we have 19 health and wellness departments that have registered retail dietitians, and a bunch of them actually come from MSU. We have interns that work with us that come from this school as well, and they're some of our strongest dietitians actually, so keep them coming, please. Our family company in Sarah Supermarkets has been serving and caring for communities here in New Jersey for more than 75 years. And we place a special emphasis on the health and wellness of our customers as well as our associates. So we employ over 5,000 people, and it's our job to make sure that they have access to dietitians and healthy food just the same as our customers do, and we take that responsibility very seriously. Our company's mission is to care deeply about people, helping them to eat well and be happy. I don't know if I love that mission, but it's okay. I think that we can help with the eat well part. The be happy is a little more challenging, but we still try. For me personally, the relationship between nutrition and health extends beyond our family business. It is something personal for me. I've been living with type 1 diabetes for over 20 years, and I'm very much aware of how important nutrition and food are to health and wellness. So the way the dietitian program started is that I had access, right? So my family, I grew up in the supermarket business. I had access to any food I could possibly want. I'd be in the hospital. I was hospitalized a lot. I have a weird form of diabetes, so I can't absorb insulin. So I have all the complications of diabetes. I'm in the hospital a lot. And always the last person, as I'm like ripping out my IVs and running out the door, is the dietitian. And they'd come in and be like, hey, can you eat an extra apple as a snack with some cheese? And I'd be like, no, get away from me. I want to go home. And I'd go to the supermarket, buy the same dumb foods that weren't good for my health, and I never got it. I could never make the connection from, well, this is the hospital and what they're recommending. This is what I need to be doing for my health. So we started thinking about that and how we could help with that. So it started as an associate wellness program at first. So we offer dietitians to our associates, and that ended up becoming customer facing and community facing too. So we started hiring only registered dietitians, and we made offices in our stores so customers, associates, and people from the community could come in and talk about a million different things. So it was very much a boots on the ground approach to health and wellness. All of the products were right there in the department, so we didn't have to worry about that. But we've learned now that integration throughout the store, there's tons of health and wellness products, so we can give people store tours. We do one-on-one consultations, the same you'd get at a doctor's office, but in the supermarket, so they can say, hey, you have high cholesterol, you have diabetes, heart disease, all these different disease states, or you just want to live a healthier life. Here's how you do it, and here are the products that we would recommend. And we can walk through the store. The dietitians do that all the time. And it ended up being something that kind of, also a big thing for us was I believe that people deserve to have access to healthy foods on a budget always. So at ShopRite, we offer those healthy products at a value, and that's something that we're proud of too. So healthy food, dietitians, all of these things that are so important to our health, it really starts with what you put in your body. We offer for free, and that's something that'll never change for us. Every day I know that my food choices impact my daily life and health, and I know how important it is to have access to nutrition information and counseling. My own personal challenges help me work with my family to establish a health and wellness department at Sarah Supermarkets. Today we have a team of 19 retail dietitians, many of whom are graduates of Montclair State, as I said before, and 18 stores with dedicated health and wellness centers. So when you go in, you can actually go to the center in the store. It should say dietitian. Sometimes our signs aren't great, I'm not gonna lie. But you can ask anyone in the store and hopefully they'll know where the dietitian is. We're working on that. And they can provide free nutrition counseling to help educate, inspire our customers, our associates, and our communities to live well and make healthy, informed choices for themselves and their families. We also work with our licensed pharmacists at store level to partner with our registered dietitian to kind of close the loop. So we understand the importance of health as it relates to how we eat and what we put into our bodies. We also know sometimes we need medication. And we kind of close the loop by having the dietitians work with the pharmacist so that if there's someone who's picking up diabetes education, medication, they can be referred to a dietitian and say, hey, did you know we had free one-on-one counseling? In addition, in Sarah Supermarkets often partners with local hospitals, health companies, and nonprofits to provide complimentary screenings, such as cholesterol checks, glucose screenings, and vascular assessments right in our stores. I'm especially proud of our health and wellness program because I'm also very proud that our stores feature the largest selection of organic, local, farm-to-table, and conventional products at the best value. Just what I was kind of talking about, making sure that all of the things that you're seeing in the back of the room, they come to us at ShopRite and we make sure they're accessible to the public without having it at a reasonable price. And that's something that, as we kind of a good instance of how this is working, the soda set, right, in our stores. When I started 5 years ago, they said, we're never gonna change how many feet of soda we're gonna have. And now the amount of soda we've had has shrunk so much, and seltzer and all these alternative beverages have really taken over. Kombucha, I saw that Health Aid is back there, which is one of our favorite kombuchas. So One of the people I have to mention actually is Jillian's husband. Brad, who works at Hoboken Farms, he was one of the first people that came into our program, so I have to give him a shout out. When I first started, he was the first vendor that we brought into the store, and we said, okay, how can we make these sauces work for what we need, low sodium, all of that good stuff, low sugar, and he's one of our trusted partners. He came in and he was one of our favorite demo people because he was always so engaging and wonderful, so I'm happy to see that he's here as well. And we've been friends ever since. At Sarah's Supermarkets, our family has a long-standing tradition of caring for our local communities and ensuring that health and wellness of our customers and associates is what's at the forefront. We invite you to stop by and meet our health and wellness team here today at our booth in the back and look forward to having you visit our stores. Thank you for joining us and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lindsay. And I'm really glad that you mentioned Brad because it gives me the perfect opportunity to introduce his wife, Jillian. Brad from Hoboken Farms, like many of our partners, has been an incredible supporter. So when I was talking to Brad about the idea of doing a health and wellness expo and just my vision, Brad's always, there for suggestions. So I said, oh, well, Bobbi Brown's going to be our keynote speaker. I'm just wondering, it shouldn't be me that talks to her. And somehow he said, oh, well, my wife Jillian, she's an international author and, yoga presenter, teacher. And I was like, really? And so I met Jillian, and 2.5 hours over lunch, I already felt like a different and better person. Jillian has an incredible energy around her that, thank you, Jillian, for being the person to speak with Bobbi Brown. And now I'm going to introduce President Cole, who's going to have a few minutes. And we should all be very honored to have the president here with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and welcome everyone to Montclair State University. We're delighted to have our guests here today, and of course, lots of our students. Don't really need to welcome you, but I'm glad to see you here today. We have a terrific program at the university in food and nutrition sciences, and I just wanted to recognize one individual who's here, the chair of the department, Professor Doug Murray, right in the back there. Thank you for everything you do for the program. You got great students, great program, and they make some incredible things if you ever get to go into the lab and taste some things. Oh, and Doug just told me they got into the finalists of their first ever time they tried actually, and got into the final 6 of a national contest in healthy children's snacks, creating a new healthy children's snack. Did I get that right? So it's going to be judged against, 5 or 6 other creations. Anyway, I am really pleased to have you here today. What I don't know about health and wellness is probably everything, but it is going to be, I think, an exciting and interesting time to look and walk around and to hear the person that I really want to introduce, and that is my friend Bobbi Brown, who I have known Bobbi for about 20 years now. I was much younger when I met Bobbi Brown. She's the same. So I just want to say a few things about Bobbi. She is literally the most creative person I have ever met. She cannot get up in the morning without having an incredible idea. She can barely get up in the morning without creating a new business, sort of pulling it out of the air. and doing just extraordinary things with it. She's a very exceptional person, and she is also, that exceptionalness was recognized by the fact that she is also holds an honorary doctorate from Montclair State University, which I bestowed upon her some years ago. Yes. And her latest ventures, Evolution 18 and Just Bobbi, although there is no Just Bobbi, it's always Just Bobbi, are her latest creations. And she has some wonderful studios going in Montclair. And it is a pleasure for me to welcome her here. And I know that the conversation between Bobbi and Jillian is going to be wonderful. So without further ado.
Yoga class. Like there. Okay, I'm just holding. Is my bra showing?
No, your bra is not showing. You have nothing in your teeth. You're good to go.
There we go.
Yeah.
So welcome. This is a real honor for me to meet you, Bobbi, actually, and to have really this meeting happen right now. I'd like to find the right place that doesn't do that. I'd like to start by just telling you how I came into my first Bobbi Brown moment. I have not been a big makeup wearer, not worn a lot of makeup most of my life, and it was my wedding 20 years ago. I was 30, and I was adamant on not wearing makeup to my wedding. And I was in the pre-ceremony photo shoot, and my mother-in-law whipped out a lipstick and chased me around the room and insisted that I put it on, and I should not take a photo without it. And begrudgingly, I put it on and have worn your makeup ever since.
Aw.
So I was a little angry with my mother-in-law, but I was really happy to become a Bobbi Brown makeup wearer. And
I'm not a Bobbi Brown makeup wearer anymore.
I am. I might still promote it. But that has been my makeup of choice for a lot of reasons, and not knowing your mission in creating it. I wore it because it helped me feel natural. So like I wore it why you created it, but having no idea that that was your intention. And I think for me that's an important place to start, because as a yoga teacher, as a meditation teacher, who I interact with, who practices yoga, they come to feel more themselves, to uncover their authentic self. They come to feel comfortable in their skin and to come home. And that is my world. That is my entire world. And I did not know that the lipstick I adored really had that mission in it until I started researching for this very conversation. I was a little out of the loop.
Well, it's not just lipstick. It's the clothes you wear.
Of course.
It's honestly, it's everything that makes you unique and not like anyone else.
Yeah, and this is what I discovered about you. I had the, if you haven't listened to 20 interviews, they're all really interesting, and I really loved researching this, mostly to hear how much at the heart of everything you do seems to be of service to help us feel more ourselves versus who we should be. It seems like it's your mission. It seems like it's what your offering is. And I feel grateful to be here with that being your offering. So I thank you for that. And one interview I really loved is, there's a little feedback on here. Can that be fixed at all? Yeah? Okay. Your work with Gloria Steinem was really fun.
Today's her birthday.
Ah, happy birthday,
Yeah.
Gloria Steinem. So that was fun to see. Yeah, applause for that.
That was actually one of my most terrifying moments where I had to introduce Gloria Steinem in a very big venue with a lot of people. You think you were nervous today? How do you introduce Gloria Steinem?
You did a great job. I watched your work with her, and actually, I'm taking a lesson from you for this.
Okay.
So you did an interview with her after a few of them, the one that you did with the fundraiser, and you started with some icebreakers. So
Okay.
I'm picking a cue from you, okay? So, not your same questions, though.
Okay.
Picked a few of my own. What does your dream day look like?
I'm in the Bahamas.
So is that your happy place? Because the
It
next question is, what is your happy
the
place?
The Bahamas is my happy place. But my dream day is really, you know, any day that I get to do what I love to do, which is doing something creative. I love to see my friends. And now that my kids are out of the house, my friends are even more important than they were when they were younger.
You have a favorite place in the Bahamas specifically?
The beach.
The beach. So that, I guess, and it really lends itself to what energizes you and brings you excitement. Sounds like when you wake up in the morning, you're pretty much there.
No. For me, I mean, I'm a creative visual being, so I love doing things that are fun and interesting. But what really brings me, you know, gives me most energy is when I am balanced. And I know as a yoga teacher, I'm sure you teach balance. There is no such a thing as balance, but we try to. So for me, it's drinking a lot of water. It's making sure I exercise. And then it's just getting it going, just getting my brain going.
Yeah. Maybe that makes me skip down to, so when you're out of balance, when you feel stressed, what's your go-to first thing?
It shouldn't be my
recuperate?
go-to first thing, but vodka.
Wait.
Tito's,
I
actually.
thought I was going to say, I thought it was tequila.
No, I kind of switched over back to vodka.
But vodka.
Yeah,
That's
less dancing on tables.
That's mine of choice,
But
too.
you know, health and wellness is my platform, but I also believe in balance.
Yeah.
You know, I believe, and there is no such a thing as balance, I said, but I believe in trying to be balanced.
I'm all for the vodka like has the best day after effect. I feel like
It
it's pretty
depends how much
clean.
you drink. Yes.
So a hidden talent. So for instance, my hidden talent is getting a couch that doesn't seem like it could fit out the door. What's your hidden talent?
I could make a dinner in probably 6 minutes for hungry people.
Really?
Without planning and shopping.
Just opening the
I just-
door
yeah,
and going for it?
Open the door, go in the pantry. I could figure
Does that
it out.
include fire and heat?
Yeah, the whole thing. Because you know, when I used to come home from work and I had 3 boys and 2 foreign exchange students and a husband staring
Wow.
at me, I knew I better get it together quickly.
Wow, nice. Dinner in 6 minutes. That's
Yeah.
that's your next book.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a favorite podcast?
How I built this. Yeah.
Nice.
And I have a podcast.
Yes.
Called Long Story Short.
I did look through those.
Well, you listen to them. Yeah.
I did a lot of interview listening, much to my joy. Is there a habit you'd like to break?
Yes. Many. Which one of it? I would like to break going onto my Instagram first thing in the morning. I would like to do exercise first and then Instagram.
Do you have a
I do it
plan
the
for
other
that?
way. I have a thought for that, and it's on my list right next to meditation. I just
All
can't
right.
find the list.
So I guess that leads us into a habit you want to begin.
A habit I want to begin is to make sure I drink water every 2 hours. Instead of sipping it through the day, someone recently told me that if you have 2 glasses of water every 2 hours, it really it gets in your body, but it's also good because then, I mean, I guess I don't know you guys very well, but then you go to the bathroom at one time instead of like
All the time.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to try that.
I think that was a really quick takeaway. How many people are going to start drinking water every 2 hours
Well, I don't know if it's going to
now?
work. You're going to have to I'm going to try it, and you're going to let me know.
Yeah. Warm water, cool water, water with
I
lemon.
do best with room temperature water,
Yeah.
so I have a tea kettle, electric tea kettle, which I love, and you just press the button, and then I do half that and then half water.
So that makes me wonder about water filter. What do you think about that?
We have water filters in our office, so I don't have any bottled water, and I'm trying really hard. See, I've got glass here. I'm trying really hard to be good for the environment.
Yeah. Have you heard of the Berkey?
No.
Yeah.
The burpee, I know, but not the burpee.
Okay, in terms of value for your money, what's the best product you've ever bought? Or, that you buy regularly?
Well, actually, do you guys know Brandless?
No.
The new site Brandless, everything's $3. They have really cool looking, simple packaging, and it's a really good value.
All right, let's see. I'm going to ask you just one big overriding last one is what do you care most about these days?
My family. I mean,
Yeah.
that's easy.
Yeah.
I mean, my boys. And my
Are
husband,
they
too.
all away? Are they home? Are they all?
One is in college, one graduated from Montclair State, and one of them, yay, and one Stanford. I got Stanford, Montclair State, and Syracuse.
Oh, that's my
Because-
alma mater.
Oh, yeah,
I'm an
because
Orange
Dr.
girl.
Coles would not let one of my kids go to some school. She said, not over my dead body. So he came here instead.
Okay, so I'm going to get a little bit more meaty.
'Kay.
Unless you have any more icebreakers you want to do with me.
No,
No,
I
we're
danced
good?
on stage with Flo Rida. That's usually an
Ah.
icebreaker. And salt,
That's
and
fun.
salt and pepper.
Now you're talking.
Yeah.
So as I said earlier, your definition for beauty is something like, and maybe you can clarify it for me, but something like being comfortable in your own skin, being at home in your body. Maybe you want to
I mean, really, the secret to everything, people always say, it's confidence. But what is confidence really? Confidence isn't just I'm cocky, I'm cool. It just means you're comfortable with who you are. And when the good thing about getting older, you realize all those things you cared about when you were younger don't really matter.
Right.
The things that matter are really the things that matter.
Right. But you don't have to wait till you're like 50 to
Or
be comfortable
61.
in your own body. But that's a heavy lift. Like
Yeah.
to use this global statement to be comfortable with who you are, it's a lifelong journey.
It is a journey, and I don't think you ever finish the journey.
Yeah.
It's something we all work at.
So can you talk a little bit about your personal journey
Sure.
of being comfortable in your own skin?
I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago. My friends were cheerleaders. They were on the sports team. I was nice. They got good grades. I got D's in math. But, are you going to take away my degree? Okay, just checking. I got D's in math, but I built a $1 billion brand. So somehow, hopefully my math teacher in Chicago, could see it. But I grew up and in the 70s when I was in high school, everybody, you wanted to look like a model or an actress. And really it was Barbie, it was Christy Brinkley, it was all these blondes. And if you didn't look like that, you weren't considered attractive. And one day I went to the movies and it was Love Story. And I saw Ally McGraw for the first time, who had dark hair, big eyebrows, not a lot of makeup. And for me, that was my personal journey that I realized I could be pretty too. So that was a big moment in my life. But so what does a 5-foot-tall, insecure girl do for a living? She goes to New York and works with models that have one name. Christy, Cindy, name them, they were there.
Wow.
And I knew that moment was like, okay, God put me there because he said, you can't compare yourself to them because you're going to lose. And so I had to just realize I have to be comfortable who I am and in my skin and not feel bad because I don't look like them.
That is actually, that's like Ganesh. You know who Ganesh is? That's puts obstacles in your way so that you can clear and become who you are.
Right.
So I would ask, what's a pivotal moment, like a mentor or a teacher or a moment where you had this like shift from feeling 5-foot insecure, not the model of beauty, to not necessarily beautiful, but like good with you?
Well, first of all, I never realized I was not tall because my relatives were the same height I was. So, until I really moved to New York in the fashion world, I realized I'm not the norm here. You guys are really tall. And, so really Ally was my, my face role model, my persona role model. But the person that really changed a lot of things for me was a guy named Mickey Drexler, who was the president of J. Crew, was the president of The Gap, and just the most creative businessman I've ever met. And being in a corporate environment, being who I am, entrepreneurial and visual, and kind of a funny sense of humor, I was always getting in trouble. Like I wasn't quite the corporate citizen. I wasn't this, I wasn't that. And I met Mickey, and I'm like, Mickey, wow, like he could be this powerhouse and be himself. He's so off the cuff and so random and so interesting that he kind of gave me permission to be who I am. And so, you know, we're really dear friends to this day.
Yeah, that's, and you are still the same funny, quirky, just your necklace and the,
Oh,
don't say anything?
No.
Okay. I won't say anything. So now you want to know.
It's a bad word, okay? And there's 4 letters.
But you have to
and it was a
lean in
gift.
to read it. So it's like, is the joke on the reader?
No, you don't have to lean into it. It just means you need your eyes checked.
You need your eyes checked, that's
Yeah.
right. So, what?
It's an F.
It's actually quite elegant. It's an
not
elegant
funny.
F.
It's not funny, but it starts the same way.
It's nice when you can put elegance and F
Yes,
together.
it's very elegant.
So in line with your, I do understand that really you globally look at everything you create from that feeling of being yourself, clothing, wellness. But since we're talking about beauty and wellness in sort of like highlighted areas, it does very much sound like your definition of well-being and wellness and your definition of beauty are one and the same.
I feel it's really holistic. I mean, I think you can't look in the mirror and feel attractive or beautiful if you don't feel good. And a lot of times when you look in the mirror and say, oh my God, I look terrible, take a minute and realize how you've been treating yourself lately. Are you overworked? Are you not drinking enough water? Are you stressed? Too much homework? Too many things? You know, we all have really stressful lives. I mean, my dear friend Dr. Cole and I always like gravitate to each other at some event. How was your day? And we both just talk about it. And I mean, the room is full of, you know, people that are in school full time, doing 2 jobs, raising kids. I mean, life is busy. And so, you know, I'm no expert and it's something I'm working towards. But, you know, we all have to kind of figure out how we do what we're doing better.
And we tend to lead with what we need and do
Right.
best. So as a yoga teacher, trust
Yeah.
me, I'm
Yeah.
still trying to find
Right.
balance
So
every
so
single
what do you
day.
need? What do you need?
I need to practice every morning. Like I am not, you don't want to be around me if I don't practice in the morning, even if it's for a half hour. And that practice could look like anything, breathing, relaxation, meditation.
But can't you do it while you're doing something else?
When I do it, whether it's 5 minutes or 10 minutes, I then wind up doing it when I'm doing everything else. If I don't do it at all, it doesn't remind me to slow down during the day. So even if it's a few minutes, it dribbles into my day.
But maybe because I do too many things at one time, like I will walk by myself with my, you know, my pod, and I'll do interviews. So I
Yeah.
try to kind of do
Yeah.
a few things at the same time.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm thinking about I'm wondering your earliest moment where you felt like self-care was essential for you, like literally your earliest moment. Like when do you remember making a choice to do something for yourself?
That's a really good question. I grew up with my mom. My mom was 20 when I was born, so we're very, you know, close in age. And we used to have beauty nights regularly where she'd bring out all the manicure things, all the facial things. So I was kind of brought up by a very girly mom. So, you know, I've always done that.
Yeah, I actually, like the story that you tell about your mom and watching her put on makeup and you really sort of being inspired by that. I watched my mom put on makeup a lot. She took an hour to put on her makeup, and it was in the more in the like Elizabeth Taylor realm.
Yeah. Well, you know, we're the opposites from our mothers.
Right. She would have been running after me with makeup at my wedding too, or glitter.
Yeah.
One or the other. So let's go back to your early college days in this environment. And I know that you started out in 2 colleges in Wisconsin. And
I actually first went to University of Wisconsin in Oshkosh for 6 months. I followed a boyfriend. I don't remember anything about.
From home?
It was 6 months. Yeah, he was a year older, so I went. I graduated high school early. Don't ask me how. And I went to college for 6 months, and then all of our friends went to University of Arizona, because that's what you did in Chicago. If you couldn't get into really good schools, you went to University of Arizona. And because there was like 800.
For 5 years.
No, yeah, but I only went there for a year. It was, I went there for 1 year. I just remember being in these really big auditoriums with a very small professor and, you know, having to sit there. And there was no iPhones back then. You literally had a doodle because it was so boring. The guy would be talking about something, and I don't even remember what classes I took. So I came home and told my mom I wanted to drop out. And she said, you can't drop out. You have to go to school. Mom, it's so boring. She said, forget what you want to major in. Forget what you want to do with your career. Forget how you're going to make money. She said, if today's your birthday, you could do anything you want. What would you want to do? And I've never been anyone with hobbies or even interests. And I said, I could have said go shopping, go to Paris, go to a fancy restaurant. I said, I want to go to the department store and play with makeup. And she said, why don't you be a makeup artist? And I said, I don't want to go to beauty school. And she said, I'm sure there's a college somewhere where they'll let you study makeup. And I found Emerson College, they did not have makeup, but they had something called an interdisciplinary program. I still don't know what that means, but they allowed me to make my own degree. So I created a degree, and makeup was my major.
You sound like an awesome mom, first of all.
She was awesome. She
Yeah.
still is.
Yeah.
Drives me crazy, but she's still awesome.
And that alone, like just her questioning to you sounds like the foundation of a holistic wellness sort of programming, just giving you that open question to discover yourself.
Yeah, well, she was a health nut, but really back then it wasn't a health nut. She was a diet nut. So we went on every diet together. We did every cleanse, every crazy diet.
Cabbage soup.
Oh yeah, cabbage soup. I mean, she made me drink honey, oil, and vinegar when I was like, 12 years old.
And that was wellness then.
It was wellness then, and it was kind of crazy stuff. And
Yeah.
so I think I've always, been that way. And then, I became like the expert in diets. And then when I moved to New York, I was like, okay, I'm going to go on a cleanse because the models are on a cleanse, and I was either on or off a diet. And one day I said, this is really stupid. I should just find what food I could actually eat and eat it. And so I started eating a lot of vegetables and bringing, protein in a bag to work with me.
What's protein? Like do you
chicken
remember?
or
Yeah.
turkey or salmon, whatever
Were you an
it was.
anomaly in that way?
I was. I would bring my carrot sticks and my vegetables because there was catered lunches and people would be eating all this food all day, and I realized I'd be falling asleep in the afternoon because I had pasta, I had bread. I can't eat bread. I can't. I love it. I can't eat it. Cookies, can't eat it. So I learned to not, and I started eating, fruits and vegetables, and now there's amazing grain-free food. Is the squirrel and the bee here? Are they here? Oh, you guys don't even know how good this bakery is, and it's grain-free. And I
Yeah.
wish you would open in Montclair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's really a mission you were on in the sense that the food was free.
Yeah.
Like the carbohydrates were free.
Well, they were free, and it was very fancy.
Right.
It was very.
And everybody was engaging in it.
Right.
And so you had to
Yeah.
really make a disciplined decision
Right.
to do what was right for you.
Well, it was like an aha moment. I'm like, oh, I just ate that bagel, and now I'm in a coma.
Yeah.
Like, I learned what a food coma was.
Yeah. Yeah. So you graduated Emerson. You, from what I've learned
Yes.
about you, you went really quickly to New York City.
Well, no, I waitressed for a year, and I believe that people should not be allowed to go into a restaurant to eat unless you have been a waitress or worked in the kitchen, because it's really hard work, and customers are really rude. So, and I also learned math. I know 20% of any number. I did. I learned that waitressing.
That's what's important about
Yeah,
math.
yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So you spent a year waitressing, and then you went to
and
New
then
York.
I moved to New York, not knowing anyone.
In the 80s, a very exciting time.
Yep. It was a wild time. It was the end of Studio 54. I never went, but that was the time, and all this crazy makeup, and I didn't know anyone except my boyfriend at the time. And I knew I had to work on this career. I went out to get a waitressing job one day, and no one was hiring. I said, all right, I'm not going to be a waitress. And then I opened up the Yellow Pages and started looking up models and modeling agencies, and just started making phone calls.
And so it sounded like, without a grand plan of what this might look like,
Right.
you got your first job and began doing makeup that way
Right.
without even a portfolio.
Right.
Maybe
Well,
you could
it's not
talk
a
a little
job.
bit.
There's no
or
jobs. Like there's no jobs. I thought,
Your,
well, I'll just
your
go
first gig.
On my first freelance, yeah. But first I went to the makeup, the union. I'm like, hi, I'm here, can I sign up? First they laughed, and then they said, well, it takes you about 12 to 15 years unless you're related to someone. And they started sending me to help other makeup artists on things. So I got to assist on Saturday Night Live and the nightly news, and it was a good experience. But there was no jobs. So my first actually freelance thing with the magazine was Glamour Magazine. I got hired to do a dancer's makeup and feet.
Feet.
Oh yeah, the photographer said, can you also do her feet? I was like, okay. Yeah, I still am scarred. Yeah.
And actually, I'm wondering if sort of the way the job marketplace looks is that it's more gig-oriented now again versus job-oriented. So it's kind of coming full circle to where you came in. So do you have any advice with the college students going out and starting in that sort of environment where you're going for sort of one-off experiences? Can you speak to that?
No matter what first of all, no, you are not owed anything. You have this great piece of paper. You are not owed. You have to start all over. You have to go in and you have to be the hardest working person in the room. I don't care if you're a temporary, receptionist. I don't care if you're in the mailroom. I don't care if you get whatever first job you get, and it's not going to be a big job because that doesn't happen anymore. But just you be the one that says, I'll do it. You jump up as they're thinking about what they need. You do it. And honestly, the more you are that person, and be a sponge and learn from people around you, because sometimes graduates come in and they just sit there waiting. And then they're done, and then they just look at you like, what are you asking me to do? I still sit on the floor and load boxes. I still, to this day.
It sounded like from everything I read that really that is at the heart of your success is like you said, yes, 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 enthusiastically over and over and over again.
And you never know what happens. You never know who you're going to meet. And you know what? I don't believe in failure. If you do something and it doesn't work out, it's only like someone telling you to do something else. There's no failure.
Just go in a different direction.
Yeah, just go in a different direction. All right, that didn't work.
Yeah. So knowing what you know now,
Yeah.
what advice would you give your 21-year-old self, your 22-year-old self?
I would tell my 21-year-old self to no matter what, don't stop doing weights in the gym. Forget the aerobic thing. Because for years, all we did is aerobics. Like, it's weights. It matters more in your body than aerobics. That's what I would tell her.
I just started again, actually,
yeah.
myself. Yeah. So when you started your business, there were not a lot of women starting businesses just like that. I mean, it does sound like you didn't know you were starting your business when you were starting it.
Right. I didn't really know I was starting a business. I had an idea for a lipstick. I was pregnant with my first child. And then I just started, now that's called a side hustle. And, when I created these 10 lipsticks that looked like lips, that didn't smell, weren't dry, I met a chemist and I said, oh, these are cool, people might like them. And honestly, I learned so much, like going to the park with my new baby, because a lot of the nannies from other countries, they all had different skin colors, all had different lip colors. And so I would just go up to them and say, hi, come here, can I just try this on you? What do you think of this? And that was, now I know it's called a focus group, but it was free, and I got a lot of people's opinion. And I'm probably one of the things I can't teach you how to do, I'm really naive. I just don't think something's not going to work out. Like, there's some stupid stuff I've done.
And is that different than optimism?
I think it's both, but I guess I'm eternally optimistic. I don't know.
Or maybe that's creative, like you're just following the inches, so it just keeps evolving.
Yeah, I don't know.
Evolving.
Yeah, it's definitely evolution, why I love that word evolution.
Yeah.
And I love doing things I don't know what to do. Like, that's what really drives me now. Oh, I have no idea how to do that. All right, I'm going to do it. I mean, I became the editor-in-chief of Yahoo Beauty only for one reason, because my kids would not even believe that someone in the digital world would hire me. I'm like, all right, I'll do it.
Was there a formal transition from thinking of yourself as a makeup artist to a businesswoman? Was that like a thing, or just?
Not really a formal thing. And it's funny when you are someone that gets written about a lot and you read the words that they say, and they list the comma, comma, comma. I started having a lot of words listed, And so yes, I was an entrepreneur. I was a businesswoman. I was a makeup artist. So the words,
So people were telling you what you
People
were.
were telling me, and I mean, I learned words like, I don't even know if it's the right word, eponymous? Is that the right word? Like where it's the company had the same name as me, like, I read some of the articles, and that's how I learned things.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a little bit about your journey from an idea to a product to a sustained business. Like about what was that timing to go between idea, actual product, sustained business?
Well, I left Bobbi Brown Cosmetics in October of 16, and my first thing I did is do a book tour for my 9th book, and I don't know how to type, Beauty from the Inside Out. So I did that first, and that gave me a platform to really talk about what I was passionate about, which was health and wellness. And I, it's something that I've been interested in my whole life. And I had this opportunity to create a product. I didn't know where I was going to sell it, but I met this amazing vitamin manufacturer, and he said, let's do a product. And I went back and I sat down and I took out a pencil, because I write on a white, it has to be a white pad, not a yellow pad. And I kind of wrote my dream products out and worked with them, and they made it. It takes about 6 to 8 months to get all, the products, and probably a year to get it to market.
So we're talking Evolution 18.
Evolution 18, yes.
And you have 4 products? 5
now.
products. Can you tell us a little bit about the products
Sure.
themselves?
They're all lifestyle inspired, and one of them is the first one I did was a chocolate whey, all organic, clean, grass-fed, all those words that really matter. But basically, it's a protein powder infused with things that will fuel my brain, taste good, not have too much sugar, and will keep me away from the breadbasket at dinner. So there's MCT oil, coconut oil, there's fiber, and so it's just, I make a hot cocoa every afternoon, and then my normal habit is I meet my husband for dinner, I order a Tito's, I don't eat the breadbasket, I order a very healthy meal, and then I come home, I always want something sweet. So I made overnight vanilla, which is a vanilla collagen that has also MCT oil, probiotic in it, hyaluronic acid for your skin, and magnesium to help you relax for 60 calories. And so I
Wow.
have that tea at night, and honestly, it keeps me away from the sweet.
60 calories. You just
60
you
calories
have me at
with
60
water.
calories.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the chocolate is 140 calories, and I mix it with hot water. But there's coconut in it, so I don't want to add another 100 calories of coconut.
Yeah, they sound really delicious. I'm excited.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, they're lifestyle inspired. So.
And so you also became a certified health coach in this
yes.
process.
Yes, I went to IIN, which is Institute for Integrative Nutrition, and I learned, I'm such a sponge that when all these different experts would go on, like the vegan guy would, I'd listen to his lectures, I'm like, oh, I'm going to be a vegan. And then the next guy's the paleo guy. I'm like, all right, I'm going paleo. And by the end of all the programs, I realized there is no rules. No one has to tell me what I'm doing. I have to do what's right for me.
Yeah.
And so that's a journey.
Was there a big shift that you made in your own healthcare because of going through this program?
Probably the biggest shift is I beat myself up less. Oh, where before it's like
That's
I shouldn't
a big
have.
shift.
Oh, it's a huge shift. I shouldn't have eaten that. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. And now it's like no, and also trying to be present while I'm eating, and making the right decisions.
So I'm going to ask you, because I've heard you say it over
Yeah.
as advice, if that you're going to build something, it's got to be better than what's out there.
Yes.
And you have to love it.
Oh, yes.
So we know you love your product because you just sold it to me. I'm ready to get the chocolate and the vanilla. What's better about it than what you think is actually in the
Well, it
marketplace?
tastes good, and it's look for any of you guys that are junk eaters, you might think it's not sweet. I really don't eat a lot of sugar, and it's sweet enough for me. So what's better about it is the ingredients are good, and it it tastes good. It doesn't spike your sugar, your insulin. It's got fat and fiber to keep everything in order.
Digesting well, yeah.
And I don't get stomach aches from it. A lot of things on the market, a lot of health and wellness things, have some ingredients that don't sit well with me.
Yeah.
And these work well for me.
So I am told we have just a couple more minutes.
Okay.
I just want to finish up with two. Can I just have two more questions, 2 or 3, yeah, for my personal interest? So out of all of your business adventures right now, what are you most excited about?
Well, I'm really excited about EV18. There's going to be a big announcement Thursday, Friday that I promised my head of PR I would not say a word about, but check my Instagram Thursday, I guess, between Thursday and Friday. It's something that we've been working on that I'm like, so
Wow,
I'm
you heard it here first.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
Thursday, there's an announcement.
Yeah, I'm excited. It'll be
Okay.
Thursday or Friday. I don't know where Gretchen is, but
How do you see the future of the health and wellness? Do you have a perspective of how
I
you
do,
think it
and
might
I'm
grow?
really excited, and I am like so excited to see what you're doing, and I think you are a pioneer. And what you didn't say when you were up here is that your father kind of didn't think what you're doing is that important, and it's really important, and we need more people doing what you're doing, because honestly, it's like you guys don't get it. You have your health, and if you don't treat yourself right, you're not going to have your health.
Yeah,
And
it's
you're
as
not-
black and
it's
white as
just-
that.
It's black and white.
There we go.
And yeah, exactly. It's black and white. So you just got to really know what are the right foods to fuel you.
So my 2 last questions. What are you most proud of not related to your career?
I am so proud of my children, honestly. You know why? Because they're really nice boys. Usually to me, but to everyone else in the world. Yeah, my boys.
Mothers get the
Yeah.
short end that
Yeah.
way. And what are you most grateful for today?
I'm honestly grateful for everything. I'm grateful for who I am. I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for my husband. I'm grateful, honestly, that I have this opportunity to reinvent myself, because my entire, part of my life now is different than it was for the past 25 years.
But it does sound like from everything you do, you're always reinventing yourself. Even when you're doing the same thing, each day sounds like
I
a
always think I
reinvention.
always think I could do something better.
Yeah.
And I think that's being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And all you guys have that ability. There isn't anyone that doesn't have that ability to do what they're doing, but do it better. Just like, hey, I could have done that. I should have done that homework the second I got it. You learn that.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you for listening to yourself and following your gut instincts and your mission. It's really radiated out to inspire a lot of
thank
people,
you.
and in a lot of ways, it's a real offering. So thank you for your work. Thank you for taking time to talk with me.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you.
I don't know if they're asking questions of you. Is there questions? No.
Don't know. Sure. Am I happy right now? Yes, I'm really happy because I got to stand up because my leg was kind of falling asleep. Yes, I am happy. Do I get aggravated and frustrated? Yes. Do I get mad? Yes. Do I get all those?
Like a human.
I'm human, but I try to let the negativity go as much as possible, because it comes back every day. So just be nice to everybody, okay? So the question was, how long were my current ventures in the pipeline before I got to work on them? Actually, not that long. I mean, it's been last April I launched, there's the George Hotel, so a new hotel, evolution18.com website, justbobbi.com. So I'm constantly working on things. Not a long time. I'd like to get on it.
Any other questions? Well, thank you so much. I really enjoyed that conversation. So if you guys could just stay seated for just a minute.
Because I want to look around.
So just a few, just want to thank you all. Lindsay, thank you. Thank you so much. And so make sure that you go look at everybody's booths. Also, you notice all these fabulous gift baskets. I'm going to be drawing a raffle and there's a lot of prizes, thanks to all of our partners who donated amazing products in there and services. They're full of incredible stuff. So Bobbi has a box of her new products, and we've got it. They're amazing. We even have pots and pans. So thank you all very, very, very much, and enjoy looking around.